everybody. Welcome to What's in the Box Horror. I'm Eric, one half of the team that usually brings you some pretty cool discussions on old books and movies. And this week, we're going to give you a special surprise. As it happens, last weekend, I was at Scares That Cares, as was Donna, and I was lucky enough to be in the room when Mike Ennenbach was doing a reading from his book, Dream Whisperers. And he's given me the green light to share it with everyone else. So I recorded it on my phone. So I can tell you right now, it's probably not the best quality. I was at the very back of the room. I wanted to make sure that I was getting everything in there. Also, it was a spur-of-the-moment record for me. I just took a picture of him and then decided last second, as he was just about to start, to hit the record button. I don't know what made me think to do it, but it was one of the few times I actually thought about something like that. I missed out on a lot of pictures and videos and stuff of my nonsense because I just wasn't thinking about it. Or, I'd ask other people who were taking pictures to just send me the picture. And it was one less thing I had to think about. I had a great time. I mean, it was an amazing event, and it was an amazing opportunity to meet a lot of cool people. Even though we know and talk to each other online, for the most part, it's still cool to get to see people in person and kind of cut through all the social media stuff and see people in that kind of an environment. It was a really cool thing. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was nice meeting everybody and talking to folks, and I really enjoyed, the best part was meeting readers and having them come by and come to the table and talk to us and stuff. And it was really cool to see Donna in person. We did a short little video that she shared on the Facebook page, and we have a couple things coming up that we hope everyone will enjoy, and I think everyone will enjoy. And we'll have more information on that on the Facebook page, and probably we'll do a little video soon, but I don't want to talk about it yet. I just want to make sure that y'all know to keep coming to the page, checking stuff out, and know that we are always working to make the channel better and more entertaining and enjoyable for everyone. So if you guys have any ideas or anything that you're looking for specifically, like always, leave comments below or find us on Facebook. You can always DM either one of us if you want to do that, or just post it on the page itself. So, like I said, I filmed it from the back of the room. Quality's not the best. I'm going to do everything I can so that you don't have to fight too much to check out this amazing read by Mike. I thought he blew it out of the water. It was amazing. Really happy that I was able to see it and witness it in real time, but also excited to share it with everyone else, because I really do think he did such a great job. People need to see it, and if you haven't already, go check out his stuff. He's got a couple books of poetry. He has some short story books out there. He's got the splatter western. He's got a ton more stuff coming out soon, and we'll talk about that. He's one of my favorite people in this industry. So, everybody should be keeping an eye on Mike. He's doing some fun stuff, some outside the box stuff. We need more of that. We need people to pay attention to that, celebrate that. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoy his reading of, let me make sure I have the name of the story correct, Spigot. And I will see you next time, and Don and I will talk about The Howling 2, the movie, to pair up with the book discussion we just finished a couple weeks ago.
So, Spigot. He kissed the arch of her foot, over her ankle and up her calf. His breath was hot on her skin, and her intake of air audible as his lips feathered against the back of her knee. The kisses grew hungrier as he slowly climbed her soft inner thighs. Their eyes locked together in a burning anticipation that erupted as soon as the tip of his tongue parted her gently and traced a soft circle around her clit. His hand slid slowly along her ribs firmly until his hands cupped her breasts. His calloused fingers found her knit. That's not the right story. Oh, holy shit.
I sent you that in private.
Oh my God. This is not the first time this has happened. Like the same fucking way. What are the odds? Right? That this is going to happen twice? I am fucking stupid. I mean, so the other time it was at a retirement center. Right. 30 grandmothers. Right? They're just, and I'm like,
I don't want you to leave.
Keep going.
So we do a question and answer afterwards, because I did not know what to do. Like, I mean, I don't even. Oh. This woman stands up and she looks at me, and everybody in the room, and she says, "Don Knotts had an 11-inch penis." What the fuck are you gonna do? Right? This is my grandmother's birthday. She's 97. 11 fucking inches. Anyway, spigot. That was this recording. We're going back to this. So we're sitting there, and they got really worked up. I mean, I want you to imagine 40 kettles, and they're making macaroni and cheese. Except it's wetter. And floppier. And I'm behind the table, and it's got that brass ball. You know, with the bingo? Right? And they're screaming fucking Matlock. But the problem is everybody is thinking Barney fucking Fife. There's nobody in the room thinking Andy. Not at this point, because it's 11 fucking inches, right? So the nurses come in and they've got pudding.
Oh my God.
They're sedatives, thank God, but this goes on. And I don't think you understand how long. What is forever? Forever is 30, 90-year-old women mashing. There's no reason. Oh, God, tumbleweeds. Stick it. I apologize. No. Do you guys know that if you go online, there's an entire Three's Company sex play?
Oh my God.
Of course.
300's Company. It is fucking Mr. Furley. How many times do you have to see Mr. Roper sling rope? Countless. It's like a loop. It's fucking horrific. Stick it. I'm sorry. This is so unprofessional. And I grabbed the entire fucking folder. Okay, spin it. God, here we go. But it does make you wonder, right? Like, I mean, so if he is Steve Buscemi, right? That guy leans forward, right? I mean, Don Knotts, it only stands to reason, right? Am I incorrect? No, fine. That's going too far. And before you wonder, no, I just look like this. Oh, right. Super funny, yeah. Fucking classy. Thanks a lot, Virginia. Jesus Christ. I mean, I liked the apple dumpling game as a kid, but can you imagine now, seriously, you're thinking about it, like when the donkey comes in and it's looking at Don Knotts, like, oh my God. Mr. Limpet? Right? The cartoon fish? He could have sunk that vessel. Disgusting. Disgusting. Sorry. It's ridiculous. I mean, you get off on tangents, right? That's just how this. We're just so small in the grand scheme of things. Right? Does anybody here read Camo? But if it's not absurd that fucking Don Knotts, like, I mean, what is next? Gilligan's Island? Right? Bob Denver? What kind of fucking monster was he slinging? Like, I mean, if there's any, I mean, no. Speak. I apologize. This is so incredible. It's his fault. I'm almost positive, at around noon, he gave me a bottle of water, and I have not felt right. Don Knotts has an 11-inch penis. It's verifiable. Do not Google it. You can Google it. Let's see. Spigot. I'm still, this is coming. But I mean, Gilligan, right? Seriously? A ham cannon? Right? I mean, come on, like, seriously. Like, Thurston, he's getting fisted by all, the Harlem Globetrotters are all fisting Thurston. And then, like, Gilligan just sits on a vibrating throne of fists. And he's just bored and dejected. I bet the professor has a serviceable penis, but I mean, if you're really going to think about it, I mean, it's no Gilligan. I mean, if we're going to rank it, it's no Fife. You've got Fife, you've got Gilligan, you've got Spigot, sorry. It's Dream Whispers, it's what Canvas, it's really good, supposedly. We're almost there. This is so unprofessional. Anyway, Spigot. Here we go. So as I stood there watching them, horror etched onto my face and silence stitched across my tongue, I knew that this was no dream. I do not know how I knew this spectacle unfolding before me was no mere fantasy, more of a vision given for no reason known to me except as willful torture. Each and every instance played forth in my mind with startling clarity. At any moment, I felt as if I could pause time itself and examine the smallest of details. This nightmare played through as I stared, fearing my sanity had slipped loose, and still to this day haunts my sleep like a poison, slowly killing all thoughts but of itself in my unconscious mind. There was nothing remarkable about the room at all. It was comfortable and lived in. This much was obvious. The table in the center of the room was obviously old and worn, as were the yellowed cloth that covered it, coated once, I assumed, in a pristine white. 2 dinner services had been set at the table, and the smell of garlic and tomatoes filled the air. Warmth radiated from the stove, something, probably a rich sauce, bubbled contentedly above a small orange flame. The dishes on the table were plain, and appeared to be made of a lacquered wood, and the silverware was barely that. A black film tainted the metal. If one were to take a guess, looking around the smallest kitchen, they would guess that probably someone was putting out the finest they had to entice or woo a prospective suitor. Even judging the less than spectacular nature of the finery about, there was something nicely pleasant about the ambiance of the room. But I knew it was a mirage, a pleasant veneer over the sinister oil that permeated all. She sat at the table oblivious. Her long silken hair glistened in the waning sunlight that drifted through the threadbare curtains. She was beautiful in a classic, understated way. I wanted to scream at her to move, or at least turn around and see what was about to happen to her. I think, in rapid waves, I love her, I hate her in nearly the same fetid breath. Her face brightened and my mind was reminded of cattle, happily walking into the slaughterhouse, unaware that a man with a large hammer stood somewhere along the uneven hall. When she grinned slightly at the man in the doorway, I can see her love for him in her perfect blue eyes, and I hate her for her love. She deserves what she is about to receive. He was tall and ruggedly handsome. His somber black suit accented his features. His choice of shirt and tie only bringing out the sparkling ice in his blue eyes. He doesn't smile at her or even seem to acknowledge her existence. He doesn't deserve her. She was an angel and he was the devil incarnate. He was the antithesis of her in every way. If they were to touch, there was no reason not to believe that they would both simply cease to be. She was matter and he was antimatter, flying dangerously close to her orbit and threatening all of existence. She was the moth to his flame, and the end result was assuredly an ending of each. I watched silently as he reached into the drawer by the sink, removed something that glinted in the flickering lamplight. She was stone solid as he walked towards her. She smiled softly to herself, and I heard her humming some nonsensical tune under her breath. Her hand rose, and I saw what he held. It looked like a corkscrew, but the screw seemed oddly hollow. There's a little thumb screw at the base of it, though. After the screw, but before the end, it rose slowly, and I heard myself scream. He rammed it into the back of her head with a wet thud. Yet she sat there patiently, as if ignorant of the surely blinding pain. He smiled and rested his hand, and I lost my voice. Sorry. Thank God it wasn't a good part. Unprofessional. My God, God knocks 11 fucking inches, I swear to God. Where were we? Wet thud. Let's just go there, because that sounds fun. Yet she sat there patiently, as if ignorant of the surely blinding pain. He smiled and rested his hand on her shoulder reassuredly. This was insanity. He grabbed a goblet off a shelf and placed it under the device, now sticking out from the base of her skull and the hollow right above her elegant neck, now stained with a dribble of bright red. He turned the thumb screw in an amber fluid. The color of the solstice sun streamed out into the goblet. Her vacant smile seemed to deepen, and somehow I felt hot tears pouring down my cheeks as I watched. He raised the goblet to his nose and he swirled it, inhaling deeply of the bouquet, then drained the goblet in one huge gulp as the room faded to black around me. I fought against the encroaching darkness. Hoarse cries escaped from my throat in rips and tears. I don't know if I screamed for her or for a sip of that golden ambrosia. It is all I can think about, my only desire. I cannot sleep, cannot find peace. I ordered a spigot and placed it reverently in the drawer in the kitchen. I have a date coming, sauce bubbles on the stove, and Lord help me, I have a new goblet in the cabinet. I want to cancel the date. I know I won't. God knows I won't. But I just want one taste of sunshine and light.